If you've ever said, but I'm diagnosed, why did I only get 10%? This video is the answer. VA ratings aren't about your label. They're about functional loss documented the right way. Real talk. The VA system doesn't revolve around your diagnosis. It goes deeper than that. It's all about how your condition impacts your daily life, your ability to function, and how it's documented. Imagine this: two veterans, same diagnosis. One gets 10%, the other 50%. How does that happen? It's not about what's on paper, it's about what's beyond it. Your rating is a reflection of how your condition affects your life. The VA uses something called the rating schedule. It's basically their rule book for comparing severity across the board. Think of it like a measuring stick, but instead of inches, they're measuring impact on function. You walk in with a diagnosis, maybe migraines or PTSD, and think that's the ticket. It's not. The diagnosis is just the starting point. What the VA actually scores is how much that condition limits what you can do. Two veterans can have the exact same diagnosis and walk away with completely different ratings. Why? Because one veteran's records show functional loss. That veteran has documented limitations, frequency of flare ups, and impact on daily activities. Same condition, different documentation, different rating. If your records don't spell out functional limitations, the VA defaults to the lowest rating that fits the diagnosis. That's the trap. It breaks down into four measurable pieces: what it prevents you from doing, how often it happens, how long it lasts, and what happens on your worst days. What it prevents you from doing. This is about specific limitations. The VA needs concrete functional limits, not just symptoms. How often? Frequency matters. A flare up once a year is rated differently than 3 times a week. The VA wants specific numbers. How long it lasts. Duration. A PTSD episode that disrupts your sleep for one night is different from one that keeps you up for 5 nights straight. What happens on bad days? This is critical. If your migraines put you in a dark room unable to function, that's a prostrating attack. If your back locks up and you can't move for 2 days, that's documented incapacity. Bad days aren't exceptions. They're part of your rating. See the pattern? It's not just saying, I have it. It's showing what it does to you, how often, for how long, and what you can't do when it hits. Now, here's where it gets frustrating. You know your condition is real, but the VA gives you 10% when you know it should be higher. Why? The C&P exam is a snapshot. The examiner sees you for 20 minutes on one day. They don't see the flare-ups 3 days later. Vets minimize. We're trained to say, I'm fine, but tough guy mode doesn't help you here. It costs you. Be honest about your worst days. Records don't capture impact. C&P exam is a snapshot. Vets minimize. Good day exam problem. Flare-ups not documented. That's why you get underrated. So how do you fix this? You learn to speak the VA's language, not medical jargon, functional language. I call it the 4-part statement. Part 1 is, because of condition, I can't action. This is where you connect your medical diagnosis to a specific functional limitation. Listen, saying my back hurts is just a symptom. The VA needs to know what that pain prevents you from doing. Instead, try, because of my lower back condition, I can't stand for more than 20 minutes without severe pain shooting down my leg. Now that is functional loss. It tells the VA exactly what you can no longer do, giving them a clear impact to measure. Part 2 is, this happens X times per Y. Frequency matters. The rating schedule uses it constantly. How often do migraines occur? How many flare-ups per month? When you say I experience severe flare-ups 3 to 4 times per month, you give the VA a measurable pattern. Now they have something they can actually rate based on the schedule rules. That's why frequency is so critical to document. Part 3 is, it lasts X. Duration. How long does the limitation or episode persist? This defines your severity. Each flare-up lasting 2 to 3 days where you're bedridden is completely different from a 30-minute episode. The VA uses duration to determine the true severity of your impact. Don't leave it to guesswork. Spell it out. Part 4. When it hits, I have to. This is the impact statement. It shows occupational and social impairment in real terms. Because of my lumbar spine condition, I can't sit for more than 30 minutes. I have flare-ups 3-4 times per month. Each lasts 2-3 days where I'm bedridden. Because of my PTSD, I can't work around crowds. Attacks occur 2 to 3 times per week. lasting 60 minutes. I have to leave work immediately and isolate. When your doctor writes a letter, they should document functional limits, frequency, flare ups, work impact, and sleep impact, provable on paper. The VA doesn't rate what you have, they rate what it prevents you from doing. Review your records, use the template, and talk to your doctor. If you've been underrated, go to veteranclaimsmadeeasy.com and use my free VA Letter Translator. It breaks down exactly what the VA said. No guessing, no legal jargon, just clear answers so you know exactly what to fix. Veteranclaimsmadeeasy.com. My goal is never to mislead, only to empower you with accurate, honest, and actionable information. Next video, we're tackling VA math. Why your ratings don't add up. Take a deep breath. You've got this. God bless.